Hello, everyone. I wanted to make a brief introduction of artificial intelligence. My name is Jamila Mimar, and I'm the CEO and founder of Mind Senses Global, with a mission to help businesses and organizations apply AI. So, if you have ever wondered what is AI, you have probably used it even without realizing it. Nowadays, you can find AI in smartphones. So, if you have a smartphone, you have likely used AI. You can also find AI in used in drone technologies. You can find AI in software. You can find even AI in deepfakes photos and deepfake videos. So AI means different things to different people. However, I would like to refer back to the definition of the first person who have coined the term AI. So AI is defined as the science and the engineering of making intelligent machines. So I talk to a lot of clients and people, in projects and conferences, and sometimes they refer to things or intelligent application as AI. And my first advice is to say, if you really want to find out if the system is really AI or not, then the first rule of thumb is to ask yourself the following question: is the system learning? So if the system or the application is learning and is using, the learning of past experiences and projecting it into the future, then yes, it is AI. However, if the system is not learning, so we are not using the experience and the lessons we got from the past experiments into the present and the future experiments, then the system is not AI. So the learning component is very important when it comes to AI. Now, within AI or the field of AI, there are different categories within that. So you have probably heard of, robotics or robots. So there are like robots, just like normal robots, but there are also like intelligent robots. So if AI is being used with the robot, so if the robot is learning from past experience, then it becomes an intelligent robot and it becomes an AI robot. We can also find AI using computer vision. We can find the other field is autonomous vehicles or driverless cars. So those type of cars also use, AI, and then we find machine learning. So over the last, say, 10, 5 years, most of the progress in AI has been established in the field of machine learning. And machine learning is just a collection of algorithms that, power and derive all those insights that the system is using. And then, without going into too much detail, so within machine learning, there are like four categories of algorithm. So there is a family that is called supervised. And what we mean by that is that human being, us, when we program, the algorithm, or, we code the model, there is a certain supervision. So we supervise how the model works. We have labeled data. So, for example, we have a picture of dogs and picture of cats, and we give the two pictures to the machine, and we tell the machine that this is a picture of a cat and this is a picture of a dog, and then what we will do, we will show it a picture and ask the machine, what is it? Is it a dog or is it a picture? So this is really, labeled. We already have given information to the machine of, what each of the, categories of the pictures are. So this is what is called supervised. The next category under machine learning is a family of algorithms that are called unsupervised. And the word unsupervised here means that, yeah, basically the machine is not being supervised by us, by a human being. So going back to the example of the pictures, so for the unsupervised application, what we will do, we will have a bunch of pictures of dogs and cats, but in this instance, we are not going to tell the machine that this is a picture of a dog and this is a picture of a cat. We will just give the pictures to the machine, and we will ask the machine, here are the pictures, organize them, group them, into categories. So the machine will have to work out on how to group them and try to see whether there is certain common characteristic, and hopefully it will show us this is the group of the cats and this is the group of the dogs. But we haven't given the information to the machine of what is what is a picture of a dog or what is a picture of a cat. So that's unsupervised. The third category under machine learning is called reinforced learning. So this kind of algorithm learns by repetition and by mistake. So it's kind of the carrot and stick strategy. So you have the AI agent and you put it in an environment, and then if it gets it, so it starts making a prediction or decisions. And if it gets it right, you give it, a plus point, you give it a carrot, you give it, you reward basically the system. If the system gets it wrong, then you punish it by subtracting points, or, by basically punishing the system, finding a way to, to punish. So based on that reward punishment, mechanism, the AI system or the AI agent starts to learn. And this type of algorithm can be found really when you are trying to make up a strategy. And so this is why it's called reinforced learning. So you reinforce the behavior of your AI agent. The final category, and that's the most famous category under machine learning and AI, is deep learning. And deep learning is really an algorithm that tries to mimic the way our brain works. So it tries to mimic our neurons, how our neurons are connected between each other, and how the different bits of data information moves in the brain. So deep learning uses based on the brain biology science, it tries to mimic that. So by having a set of neurons and connectors, artificial neural networks. And this type of algorithm has been made very, very famous over the last 5 years. And this is thanks to the huge improvement in the power of computers and machine. So now we find like deep learning being used in different applications. For example, banks use deep learning to try to predict fraud. You find actually deep learning is very, very good with image recognition. So you will also find it in healthcare. So spotting, reading CT scans and spotting, cancer, trying to spotting, Alzheimer disease in the brain scans images, trying to, spot melanoma, which is a kind of like skin cancer, from images. So it's very, very good with this type of images. So hopefully this has been a very brief introduction to you guys in terms of what is AI, and hope to see you soon. Thank you and goodbye.